This week's show is brought to you by Venice Beach Beverage. Try their delicious line of ginger teas with 100% daily vitamins in every can. And make sure you try my favorite, Black Cherry. Visit them online at venicebeachbeverage.com.
The following episode is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Good day, mates.
What's up, lovers and friends? Natalie here, joining me as usual, Rickie Lee. And we got a special guest, right, girl?
We do have a special guest. I'm already laughing of excitement here, but this is going to be an interesting evening. So yes, we have Jessica Rae, aka Jess. I like calling her Jess.
We love Jess.
We love Jess. She is a game day producer for the Los Angeles Dodgers. More importantly, she's a writer, director, producer, a filmmaker extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
You guys may have heard her a couple episodes back when we did the birthday special. She was here with us.
Yeah.
She's back.
I'm back,
We
everyone.
love her. She loves us. So we said,
is.
let's have an...
Yes, have her back because we want to talk about her film.
Yeah.
Okay. So her film, oh my God, I'm already blanking now. Raise your hand.
We're
Raise your hand.
nervous.
Yes. We are nervous. I have like four freaking little
Why are
notes.
you nervous?
I don't know. So her film premiered at Michael. You know why? I'm nervous because your film premiered at Michael B. Jordan. And Natalie and I just recorded his film festival. An episode. He's my celebrity crush.
Oh man, I saw him at the Dodgers once. He was like,
Was he as hot as they say he is and as he
Absolutely.
looks
Okay,
see, he is.
in picture?
Yeah, no, he is.
Okay, so yes, I'm sorry. Let's go back. So your film premiered at the Michael B. Jordan Social Justice Now Film Festival, and then it won Best Narrative Feature at the Toronto Women in Film Festival also, right? And then recently that film has been selected to join the American Black Film Festival and the Seattle Latino Film Festival. So you just got an entire little catalog here.
We're trying to build it up.
Yeah.
Go, Jess.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
all of that.
Thank you very much.
Those
We're
are
very
big
excited.
things.
We are very excited. It's been a long road. We shot it about 5 years ago.
Wow.
And it was a labor of love. It was on the ground type of film. We worked a lot of jobs, put a lot of pennies together to make it work, and had a lot of like really kind in donations and stuff like that. So
What is the film about in a nutshell?
in a nutshell, it's about young women. Yay, young women. As they're struggling in the 90s before there were cameras and stuff to be
Everybody
able to
loves the
capture things.
90s.
What?
Yeah.
Of course, I still live in the 90s. Ask anybody. my pants are 90s.
Very 90s today.
But it's about them essentially overcoming trauma and dealing with it in a creative way.
Okay, I like
Yes.
that. I like that.
So yeah, that's our filmmaker.
I also shoot videos for Rose City Sound.
Yes, he does. We're so blessed to have you, I swear. I think like now, we talk pretty regularly, but now sitting here and you're in the interview chair, I'm pretty starstruck. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Well, see,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
you know what I mean?
We talk about it and we know this, but when
Yeah.
you formally say something
Yeah.
and you're saying it to the universe and all of these people that listen to us,
Yeah.
that's why
This is major.
that's why I paused with the Michael B. Jordan part because I was just thinking about the Amazon commercial and I'm like,
Yeah.
this broad.
Yeah.
She's
She's
you know,
seen him in the flesh.
associated with him. Yeah. So those
We're
are
not like homies. I'm just saying.
listen, it's enough to just be associated.
Yeah.
That-
How do you take this on? Like, how do you feel
About the festival or what?
about your film? About having accomplished this?
Yeah, your accomplishment.
Well, since this is a very honest platform,
Yeah,
I mean,
please be
nothing
honest.
ever feels good enough. Like,
Yeah.
you're always trying to get into another door. It's hard to live in the present. The truth is, there really are like 100 no's to
Oh,
the
yeah.
one yes.
Yeah.
And that one yes, you're going like, is this the right yes? It wasn't the other yes. Why didn't I get the other yes? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
so I deal with that a lot. And I think most filmmakers and creative people do, especially filmmakers, because our work is collaborative, right? So we have a crew, we're reliant on a collaborative situation. Whereas like if you're like a graphics artist or, like maybe your job is singular and you can function on your own, or if like you're doing your own podcast or whatnot,
Right.
like it's just, it's always hit or miss. And then the festival circuit, it tends to be really political a lot of the time.
Really?
Yeah. So like there might be, I mean, essentially the film deals with like sexual assault, right? With young women. But if there's 2 other sexual assault films, like they're gonna look at, well, who's the actor who's most popular, and like,
I see.
or which one's shorter,
Right.
that's gonna fit the. So there's all those other factors that come in to make a festival program,
Right.
and so you never know what's gonna work or not. And also like I tend to make films that, you know, make people think.
Critical thinking.
Critical
films.
thinking, making people uncomfortable. Like I'm really good at making people uncomfortable.
That's a skill set you have.
And you'll fit right in here in
Yes.
this podcast.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So Jess actually got me a little side hustle for a film that a friend of yours was working on.
Oh yeah.
I'd never been on a set before. That was one of my moments in love. That was where they gave me the little flashlight for my head.
Oh, okay.
So when she talks about, you know, it being a collaborative effort when you're working on a film,
Yeah.
I mean, no kidding. I saw like the person with there's no one person with the camera. There's an
Right.
entire team around the camera.
Okay.
Like moving it, adjusting it, making sure that the person who's going to look in the camera, through the camera,
right.
has the exact angle that
They're trying
they
to
need to
capture.
see it in. Incredible. From the set designers to the people feeding the actresses, like everybody played a part.
Yeah.
It was, I felt very much at home.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, oh, I could do this all this. It's a lot of hard work, right?
yeah.
But you don't have to tell anybody why or how to do what they have to do. These
Right.
are people who want to be there,
Yeah. And
who
who
are-
just naturally
who are
do.
creatives,
Yeah.
who see the end game in their, you know, mindset as they're working.
Mhm.
It's seamless. And I don't know if that's the case in all sets. I imagine, you know.
Oh, I mean, it varies everywhere, right? But
Right.
like overall, I mean, and that is an independent short film. So shout out to Nalip and
Yes.
Netflix for putting together that program, because the director was chosen and got support through those organizations to be able to shoot this.
The director was pregnant,
Yes, Eileen,
full blown pregnant.
full blown, yeah.
No kidding.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then there was a part where we had to change costumes and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
This woman full blown took her shirt off.
Right.
Like
then
she was
and there.
wearing, I mean, again, you have a mission to accomplish.
Right. It doesn't matter at this
She's
point.
got a baby. She's walking around wobbling. And I was so impressed.
That's
And
amazing.
it was really something.
Well, that was a heavy female crew, and the DP,
Oh, yeah.
Judy Fu, was the DP on my
What's
film.
a DP?
A director of photography. So
Okay.
the person who's actually, it's the camera vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a camera person.
Bartney.
It is the camera vision, right?
Okay.
So it's not just like because sometimes the director of photography isn't the one actually shooting stuff. Sometimes it depends upon the crew, right? Because sometimes there's operators, so they will actually do the operating, but then the DP sometimes will be like behind a monitor, and they're usually more focused on like the lighting and whatnot, depending on the
Okay.
level you get to, and then the operators are like helping with the camera movement. And like, so that's when you get like steady cam or like a stationary cam, or, you know, there's all sorts of different things that you can do.
And our wonderful friend Annie Gonzalez was in that film. And I've never seen like actors actually performing in that moment.
Yeah.
It's not a
Cakewalk.
it is not a cakewalk.
No,
Like,
because
at
you've got
all.
like 25 people staring at you, like holding things and
Yeah.
like fixing your makeup.
And then you
you're-
got to get in the zone to
You gotta act natural, like
cry
this is
and
part of
shit.
the movie.
Yeah.
the
yeah, it's
scene.
the whole thing. I mean, and but I gotta tell you, you know, I guess I don't have like a full moment of love, but like today I had to drop off some headphones to my friend who's working on NCIS. And I texted Rickie when this was going on. And I go, so I stopped by to drop off some headphones and I'm going to watch a bus blow up. And she goes, are you watching Speed 2? And I go, no, I'm at this set of NCIS and they're about to blow up a bus.
Okay.
And so I stayed there and watched the bus blow up. And I was like, man, I love Hollywood. What did I say? I said, insert Randy Newman's I love LA.
Insert Randy
Because like
Newman.
there's no other place that I want to be than on a film set. Like I'm so happy
So that was
Yeah.
your moment in love today.
watching the bus blow up.
Watching a bus blow up. But feeling like that's where you belong.
Yeah.
That is your natural state. That's where you feel good.
I really do.
So tell me a little bit. I know we talked a little bit before about film and, you know, your younger self. Can you tell me a little bit about your you growing up and being in film, and how did that come about, and what piqued your interest, and what specific moment was it for you where you were like, I want to do this?
Sure. So it's been a really interesting couple of weeks. And so I'll make a long story short. As a child, I had a pretty difficult childhood growing up, and I found a lot of inspiration and happiness through Bette Midler. I thought she was amazing. And I saw her in Big Business when I was like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9. Maybe I was younger. I might have been like 5 or 6. I don't know. But I saw her and I was like, she is the fucking shit. Like,
Yeah.
I love this woman so much because she was unapologetically herself, which is something that Rickie has said about me
Right.
more than once. But I think that's where I get it from.
Yeah.
Because
it resonated with you
it
when
totally
you saw
did.
her being like you said, unapologetically
herself, like no stops.
And you said you were 8.
I probably was younger than that, honestly. And then I saw Beaches, and I connected with her character in Beaches. I made Rickie watch Beaches last week. I have a
terrible.
video of her just bawling. I had
No
to take
way.
it. Oh yeah,
It was terrible.
you might
but
want to put that on on this frequency.
I'm gonna have to.
It was
Instagram.
terrible because I thought I saw the movie, and I know the song. I had to learn how to play it on the piano, but I did see a lot of Bette Midler's character. A lot of I was like, oh shit, that's Jess. Like they have a lot of similarities.
Oh,
A lot it tripped me out big time. That was definitely like, what the heck is going on here?
So you naturally gravitated towards this. Well, it's not even her character, just her being.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 9, I saved up all my pennies and went to her concert with my 5th grade teacher. Total dork here. I remember going into the store and getting a clearance, what do you call those pleather vests?
Okay. Okay.
With a white shirt. I remember my mom braided my hair. I had black jeans, and I had those ugly patent leather shoes with the weird material bow on them. And I was so excited to go. So the story goes,
We need that picture.
Yeah.
it's got to be somewhere. I don't know where. But I used to have to go to summer school with my mom because she was a teacher, and we used to paper mache stuff all the time. So of course I'm like, let me paper mache a ball with all of Bette Midler's my favorite songs and my favorite movies and everything, and write them on the ball. So then when I go to the concert, I write her this really long letter about how much I love her and how much she's inspired me. And I used to write her a journal every day about how I wanted to be her daughter. Sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. But I wanted her to adopt me, and I wanted to just be in that world so badly. So
Yeah.
I'd write for years. I wrote her a journal. I don't know where they are,
Yeah.
but I bring this letter and this ball in a bag, and and I'm with my teacher, and she's like, well, let's find security.
Yeah.
And give it to security. I didn't leave my address
Ah,
or phone number or anything.
damn it.
I know. So I never knew
Just
if
maybe
she
she's
got
still
that.
looking for you.
So I mean, since I've
Wait, is she
learned-
still alive?
Yes, and
Oh my
it's-
God.
listen,
Well, I don't know.
We have to
Pocus
manifest
too.
it. She has to.
Is she
meet
gonna be in
Bette.
it?
Is she what?
Is she gonna be in Hocus Pocus too?
Yes.
Why
This
don't
is
you
the
send
big
her a
thing.
DM or an email
I actually
or
have
something?
sent her a DM, but I don't even know if
Did
she's
she
the one
see
who.
it?
I don't know. She does. I could check, but I don't think so.
We have to find out. We have to find her.
No, she just has to meet her.
I was actually.
Yeah.
I'm writing a movie about a young girl.
I like this idea. By the
Okay.
way.
Nobody steal my idea, but it's about a young girl who is in a difficult situation at home as a young person.
Yeah.
And so she decides, instead of going to this camp that they're going to send her to, she runs away, and she makes a road trip following the Bette Midler fan club people, and stops in these towns with all this little money she saved up on the little city bus.
Yes,
And she
yes.
stops and meets all these people who've had these really inspirational moments with Bette. And then she gets to Bette finally, to her concert, and she can't get through, and it's all dramatic or whatnot. But she finally gets to her, and each person has given her a letter that they've written, right? Because she said, write something to Bette and I'll deliver it. And so she gets to meet Bette, and it's all emotional, and she hands them to her. And then Bette goes, these letters aren't for me, they're for you. And they'd all written to this girl who's on this journey trying to oh man.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you heard it here
just
first,
need to
y'all.
just do
That's
that.
the movie. So
Because-
But I
coming
need her
to
to-
theaters near you.
But see, so into another question, what are you up to now? Filmmaking wise, what are your endeavors now? Besides now, you have to do that Bette movie,
Right.
And then she'll come to the premiere.
Yeah.
Well, there's a certain person who has entered my life as of recent, who's kind of reinstilled all these things that I've kind of pushed down because like I've been directing, and that's
Right.
all I've wanted to do. And then it's
Yeah.
really opened up this, I don't know, this like space inside of me that was really like private and secret because it was really like my happy space. But it's like reopening up, and it's all inspired by Bette because I used to like audition and act and all these things when I was younger. And so now
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting back into that realm and that world. And so Rickie and I were talking about, so she's now doing films, right? She's going to be the producer in December when we shoot something.
Hey.
By the way, Natalie, you'll be acting in it. So,
Look, if as long as you can give me coaching lessons
Yeah.
or the
well, I'll
acting
direct
lessons.
it, but I'm going to direct and act in it. And like, we're just going to have fun, but we're going to make some stuff and
I love it.
see what happens. But I'm going to try and get back into that world because actually that was always my dream was
Yeah.
to like act. I fell into directing because it was so awesome. And as a teenager, I found that I could connect with people really well because I did a lot of stories that were like really probably shouldn't have been doing in high school, but just like that could connect with people,
Right.
messed
Yeah.
up families, like challenging situations. And it was causing a lot of conversation and all that stuff. And I was like, this is what I want to do. But I kind of like put the other side.
You naturally
Yeah.
went into a different direction.
Yeah.
But not intentionally. It
No,
sounds like,
actually
right?
not intentionally. It just happened that way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I like really like this.
Oh,
so
I'm excited for us.
Yeah,
Look at
because I
us.
think everything you did leading up to now you wanting to dive into the acting part of it was all completely to your benefit.
Mhm.
All of it. All of it 100%. Like you have to, at least I'm the type of person that believes that everything that you went through, whether you liked it or not, is just leading you where you got to go to.
I wouldn't have believed that about 3 months ago, but I gotta say now that this is all coming full circle in a way that I did not expect, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe.
Look
know,
at life's journeys.
Like nobody in LA knew how much I loved Bette. Nobody knew. Like I never talked about it because it was so like private and special.
And the thing is when I've noticed when Jess talks about Bette,
yeah.
she's like a child
Yeah.
all
For sure.
over again, like,
Like,
giddy. And
eyes
then the
are
little
glowing.
twinkle
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
eye,
Yeah.
like this is it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's so important that like we feel that way about the people that inspire us
Mhm.
and that you know how to experience that. You know how many people like
sweaty.
turn the fan, turn
Turn
the
the
fan.
I need the fan.
Welcome to my life.
I'm gonna start
My sweaty
crying.
life.
I love Bette so much.
And I think like there's something to say about honoring that inner child. You know, that
Oh, yes.
you've said that you kept that to yourself and you don't really share that. But what a way to honor the younger you and to bring her back to life and thank her.
Dude,
You know
she's
what I mean?
so cool. Like I love younger Jess. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you see remnants
You
of it in me.
rediscovering her.
Yes.
My 90s clothes and my unapologetically myself, Jessica.
Yeah.
It's really starting to come out. And it's really cool because I see it like spreading to people like Rickie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always tell her too when she does her hair with her little bolitas on the side.
Uh-huh.
There's certain facial expressions or just random things that she says that I'm like, that's little baby Jess right there. Like, and I just because of the way my mind operates, like I imagine her like just little
yeah.
in her little
Jess
self, just like
with
you
her
know,
little ponytails.
yeah. And then with like some AK-47s just blowing walls up because that's what Jess does. She blows walls up, people's walls, you know.
So, what do you think? What got you there to now bring out this Jess?
I mean, I know what got me there. How do I
And we were talking, and this definitely wasn't the topic of conversation.
no.
No.
So, because we were talking about languishing.
Yeah.
So, do you think that, and we'll get into what languishing means, but we'll backtrack. Do you think that had something to do with it, where now we're sitting in this pandemic?
Absolutely. Like, and this has only happened in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Literally.
Where, yeah, like
fresh.
it's crazy to me because I mean I don't know, Rickie. How have you seen me change? Let me ask you a question.
I think it's like a slow ripping off a Band-Aid very slowly with
Mhm.
Jess, where mine's like fast.
Mhm.
With Jess, it's very cautious still, you know?
Mhm.
So she's got her life wounds.
Mhm.
There's the Band-Aid. And finally, like,
Mhm.
there's something peeling at that Band-Aid
Yeah.
thing.
Now she's curious.
gotta
Like, what
go.
happens if I
Yes.
do this? Will
She's
they
curious
hurt?
about it. But see, as she's pulling on this Band-Aid, right?
Mhm.
Shit's coming up.
Yeah.
Because you still have that scar. You still have whatever's underneath that
The
Band-Aid,
wounds.
right?
Mhm.
But it's still covering a big piece of who you want to be and what you want to do.
Yeah, I feel
So
that.
as she goes on, it gets pulled, and some days it gets pulled a little harder than the others.
Right.
And then some days you want to like patch it back up, like close it back up,
Yeah.
but it never goes
revert back.
Yeah. So and it goes to say everybody removes those band-aids differently
for sure.
and at their own pace. But you can see Jess like ready, but
Mhm.
also very cautious because
Mhm.
she is very protective of herself and of who she is, what she is,
Mhm.
and not handing that out.
Yeah,
to
and the
just-
feelings that come up.
Yeah.
And who you're gonna expose to those feelings, because you just said that all of those feelings are guarded, and you don't want to bring up what was it, the actress, I already
Yeah,
forgot her name,
Bette
sorry,
Midler.
COVID brain. But yeah, those things are special to you. So
They are. And also, like, right now, because my mom's dealing with cancer and it's a process, but like, Bet and my mom are very tied together.
Mhm.
Huh.
My mom is still, I just have to get this one piece out. My mom is still angry at me for, because she brought it up last week. 8th grade basketball. Like, when you do the, like the little summaries, like your name and your favorite food.
Yes.
So we did those, and then one of them was your hero, and everybody put like my grandma or my mom, and I put Bette Midler.
Oh my god.
And
She's so salty about
And
it.
my mom was like, "Well, maybe one day you can tell her that she is your hero."
You know what? You're gonna have to make her like your mom something special,
What-
like
what
a
did you-
personalized one.
Yeah. What did you end up telling your mom when she said that?
I was like, "Maybe I will."
No. The
No,
loyalty is real around here.
No, I love my mom very, very much. But it definitely, as my mom is going through this process, and she is doing well, and
Yeah.
hopefully, going through some treatment that'll really help her. It's
Uh-huh.
also like all of the stuff. It just kind of opened up. It's like a what do you call those? A dam that just like blew open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And,
a
like-
whirlwind of emotions.
Yeah. So I think when you're talking about languish and like
Mhm.
that feeling of being, really like lethargic and tired and everything just being kind of blah,
Yeah.
it gives you room to rip the little band-aid off slowly but
Mhm.
surely, I guess.
Because now you
With-
have time to be in those feelings.
Yeah. And when you find your community and you find
Mhm.
people who you can be safe around,
Yeah.
you can do that. Like I made Rickie come and watch Beaches. Like I was like, but
Yeah.
I can't do that with everybody.
Wait, where did you watch Beaches?
You can
on?
come over and watch it.
No. But like, do you have like? Because now I'm curious. Do you have it on like digital or do you, I
Amazon?
want to
No,
say VHS?
I used the-
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm
Wow.
getting at. Like, where are you putting this
She's like,
on?
call this old.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
No, it's
So where do you
on
have-
Amazon.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Whew,
We're not that old.
got worried.
Yeah.
I was like, can I watch this at home?
Yeah, you can watch it on the
Okay.
Amazon.
I
But I'll
do
let you
want to
invite me
say
over.
that because you said blah. You feel this blah. And that's want to start with there's a name for the blah you're feeling, and it's called languishing.
Mm.
So I saw this post earlier by one of my coworkers at Hello Stranger, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
And it was an eye-opening experience for me, and that's why I shared it with you guys, because I thought, oh my God, I thought that we could all relate to what languishing is, because they're saying that languishing may be the dominant emotion of 2021,
Yeah.
is what they're saying.
Also known as every week on this podcast. I'm exhausted. It was rough this week.
Yes,
Yeah, what the fuck?
yes.
We're languishing.
It says it's not burnout, right?
Right.
It's not depression.
Mm-hmm.
We just felt somewhat joyless and aimless.
Yeah.
And that's what languishing is.
Yep.
Somewhat joyless and aimless.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel happiness and joy. I go, but sometimes it feels like we have so many things we want to do.
Mhm.
So many things we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about 10,000 things that we could do all the
Right.
way around. And it feels like we don't do anything.
But that's the languish, right?
Right.
Because they're like, okay, we can do 25 things a day. Rickie and I were actually supposed to meet up like hours ago.
Mhm.
Hours ago.
Yeah.
My exercise bike is sitting in its box at the front door, and she's supposed to come over 2 days in a row to help me put it together. Because apparently I can't do it by myself. But I took 2 naps today.
which she needs rest because she has a terrible sleep pattern. Also,
I know,
Like,
I don't sleep.
She doesn't sleep at all. So I don't get on her because I'm like, you gotta rest. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
you
I mean,
need
how
that.
sad is
Wait.
it when you get messages from your friends being like, "Good, you're resting."
I literally was like, good.
I'm
I was
so
like,
happy for you. I won't bother you anymore. Call me when you're awake.
I mean, it's true though, because it's bad.
Girl.
It says that languishing is a sense of stagnation and
Yeah.
emptiness. It feels as if you're muddling through your days and looking at your life through a foggy windshield. That's exactly how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
My boss earlier, remember I was reading that email about, I said, well, let me know your vision for the upcoming homestand. And he goes, my vision is foggy.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
how everybody feels. Just like,
I don't know about tomorrow. I just know these next 5 minutes, if that.
yeah.
And it says that we're all suffering from chronic languishing
Yeah.
just because we're going on year 2 of the pandemic.
You want to know
Right.
where it is? Right.
Okay,
That's the chronic.
Can you tell us what you just did so the viewers,
the listeners can get a visual.
I Vanna Whited my
Vanna Whited.
I like to make up words. I Vanna Whited my stomach area where the tire is.
And the tire is that lonja, that little love roll that I cannot get rid of. And it doesn't
You think
matter.
that's languish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In like a physical form. That's languish.
Because you know
it's
how
just there.
you know how they say like you physically become what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Or like you physically like however it is your physical body represents how
Yeah.
Keeps you warm, but it also like won't let your pants fit. Like Natalie's here in jeans and Rickie and I are like, we don't fit in jeans. I don't even know how long.
I haven't worn a belt and got no Natalie's over here looking all cute in a belt. And I'm like,
I'm like, what's a
God.
belt?
Sorry, y'all. I also was like, oh no, I don't want to eat that. I'm gonna get bloated.
Oh, see,
Sorry.
no.
And we were eating mini tacos.
Yeah.
Living your best lives.
Languish.
But you know what? Fuck that. Who cares?
I mean,
We're in a pandemic.
you know what though? I gotta say something. Although I'm probably like towards the higher end of like my heaviest physical self, I'm actually pretty cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Me
because of
too.
the
You're okay.
pandemic that I'm like,
Whatever.
Like,
Yeah.
because I was working out and I still go and work out, but I don't have, like, we were talking about this. I'm happy
Yeah.
if I can put the laundry away, all of the laundry.
Yeah.
Because I negotiate how much of the laundry I put away.
And that's even exhausting.
Yeah, right?
We end up exhausting ourselves. I'm not going to do this because I'm going to compensate by doing this. And then that shit's like, what the fuck did I just get myself into? Now the laundry's not put away. The dishes are out. I cooked this food.
You're like, I'll take the garbage out. And then you put it by the door and then the dog gets in it. And then
Right.
you're like, oh my
And
God,
now you've
I
created
did nothing. But like, really, we did do something. But one
Yeah.
thing I didn't get to tell you earlier was like, I also worry about being too far on the other end of like, you know, there's the whole like, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
also hold myself accountable and finding that
Yes.
middle ground
Yeah.
because that's how I get the Vanna White
Mm,
is being like, it's okay, Jess. You have survived
the
today.
lovely pooch.
But also like, okay, I survived today, but was I my best? And what does that mean? What does that
Yeah.
mean for us? Like, what does our best mean? Because I think it changes every day.
Yeah. I don't know how to like, because
Taking the
we're
fan
all
back.
going through this languish, right? How do we get past that?
So it tells you what you can do. But what I thought about was part of my moment of love was I found some old notes
Mm,
when I'm struggling with things or I'm overwhelmed. I make lists like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I just start writing.
mhm.
So I found this list, and I'm so happy because this was 2019.
Did you
April.
just pull this from the
I
corner?
did, 'cause I found it
just
today, yes.
do? Oh.
And I'm glad that you talked about like you're like who cares? You're wearing sweats now all the time, and it doesn't even
They're
matter.
really
You don't
cute
even
sweats.
care. Hell yeah! So I found this list, and on this list, I actually talk about just wanting to wear sweats. And again, this is before.
So you were wearing jeans?
Well,
The-
you succeeded, my friend.
Yeah, I did. See, February. No, what's for? April. April. What's for? April 23rd, 2019.
Languish.
I just want to wear a sweatshirt for the rest of my life.
You do that now.
Why do I have to dress fancy for anything? That's what was on my mind. Now, mind you, number 10 was statement number 9 is contrary to statement number 7. Statement number 7 was, get into that dress. Because I bought a dress back then. It was a great dress. It was
Have you worn the dress?
90s vibe. No. But Little Kim did a music video. God, I can't remember who it was with. It was a long sleeve. It was a short dress, but it was fitted and it was long sleeve. I was like, I kind of like that because it's like, you know, it's a short dress, but it's got long sleeves.
Okay.
And I found a dress very similar to it back in 2019. I had it and I wanted to wear it and get in shape for it.
I actually think I know what dress you're talking about.
Oh my God, it's so great. Well, I just gave it away. I never actually got to wear it anywhere.
Damn it.
But it doesn't
Could've
matter
worn it
because
here.
I know I could have. But my point is in 2019,
Natalie can wear it.
flawlessly
Give it
too.
to me.
Oh my God, I should have. I
What
don't know
the
why I
hell?
didn't think that. But
Anyway,
my point is back then all I wanted to do was wear sweats.
and now here we are.
I like I would a creature of habit, right? Cute jeans, nice white kicks, a blue sweatshirt, a little chain, cute curls, face done. That's it. If I could just dress like that every single day, but I can't do that in the summertime. I need a cooler version
Well,
of
all
that.
you have to do is put on a tank top and you're good.
Yeah.
True.
I've
I mean,
seen
you
you
don't
do
want to
it.
go walk up and
And I
like,
would just
move.
wear that every day. Like I wouldn't
But like
bother
we
with
talked
anything
about
else.
this recently
Yeah.
about somebody's girlfriend or partner, whoever, and about that being because we were talking about being our authentic selves and like
Oh yes.
right. So as females,
Yeah.
there's a whole like stigma about how we're supposed to be dressed, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been like do what I want, like. But I was a huge like J-Lo, cute sweatsuit type thing. I always wanted that. I like the matching outfits. Give me the matching outfits all day long.
I agree.
I will rock them with the cool kicks.
I agree.
I have no shame in continuing to live in the 90s for the rest of my life.
It was we went to an artist that we were working with, and I expected his wife to be like just kind of J-Lo looking,
Mhm.
right? Like just
J-Lo
done up,
meaning
just completely done up, like, he's a good looking man. So I'm thinking that he's gonna be paired up with someone
Yeah.
who's like that. No, it was the complete. Look at the way Jess is dressed today. It was like that
Uh-huh.
with these cool ass glasses, just completely artsy, but
Just not what you were expecting.
sports bra. I'm not even caring about. Like I'm comfortable and creative
Mm-hmm.
and unapologetic.
So fuck
And I
off.
remember calling her and I was like, you know what? We overthink all this shit. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? We
Well,
have a
yeah,
great
for
relationship.
sure.
Well, I had some friends who were like,
Oh yes.
as I was, starting to talk to a new person in my life,
Yeah.
they were like, girl, you need to change how you dress. You need to like
That part.
bring it up a level.
I hate
Stop
people
wearing
like that.
chapstick. And I was like, I love my chapstick. And they're like, you need to get lip. I swear to God, one of the girls
No.
pulled lip gloss out of her purse and gave it to me. And she's like, you need
You
to wear
need
this.
this.
Throw your chapstick away. And I was like,
Ew.
But no, hold on, because I did tell Jess I was
The
irritated with that.
the
I was.
intention was
Good.
good though. It was
Came
like,
from a place
we
of
want to
love.
raise you up to be at a level. And I was like, why? But what? Why is this not like the hottest level?
Why is
right
this
here.
not enough?
Like what measures enough? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And through this process of COVID and whatever,
Mhm.
like this is baby Jess. Baby Jess is happy. Like baby Jess was like, fuck the world. I don't give a shit. I will do whatever I want.
Why do
Try
you have
and
to
match
change
me.
for someone else?
Well, society
You know what I mean?
tries and tells you to like this is the way you're supposed to be. This is how you get a man.
Well, yeah,
this is
the
how
lip
you get a
gloss you
job.
wear.
This is how you let me just fix this. This is how you get a man, get a job. This is how you are successful.
Yeah.
Like this is how other women are gonna see you. This is how you need to be. And like I just want to be me and I'm cool with me.
Mhm.
And I've always been a little different,
Yeah.
And
sure.
but my whole life I have been told to be like, if I don't give a guy attention, it's happened more than once. Like, are you a lesbian?
I got that a lot too. I got that a lot.
Yeah. This is why this is my twin and another fun.
I got that a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not a lesbian, and I love lesbians. And like, but it's just this is just.
I'm not a lesbian either, but I do like lesbians.
Thank you guys
It's
for
just-
confirming.
But like, you know what I mean? Why does this have to be associated with that, anyways?
Right.
Or if I'm not going to give it up to you, why does that mean that? Oh, but you.
But
dress
you know
like
what
this,
though?
you
But it
dress
goes
like
back to like what we were talking about the last week when I was really shocked that when I was in my element, and sweating profusely and not looking physically my
and
best.
you had all those guys
and
all
I had
over
all
you.
these guys
What
hitting
did
on
I
me.
tell you?
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, hold on. how
Because
come-
you were your best self.
Yeah.
I was my best self
You're just being authentic
in what
with you.
in what
You're not giving a shit.
I was my best self. Because here's the fucked up part, right? I was my best self, but my own self didn't know that was my best self. My own self was thinking my best self wasn't good enough because my best self was this other complete opposite person that my best sweaty self was.
Yeah.
I was really shocked. And I think that's why, like, you are who you are and you will be how you will be. And the person that's going to come into your life is going to love all things about you. And it's not going to matter.
I mean, what have I said multiple times recently? If you are in my ring, you need to be in my corner. If you're not in my corner, get out of my ring.
Mm.
And this has been like a theme lately because I've let too many people hang out in my ring
Yeah.
and they don't even know it's my ring.
Right.
And now I'm like, yo, you either need to like physically be in my corner or get out.
You don't have time for all the fuck shit.
No, I don't. And I used to always make time for it. And I think because of the languish,
Yeah.
I'm like,
And Jess goes hard for people too. Like, very, very hard for people. So I imagine that, like, because the way she's saying it right now, like, if you're not in my corner, it sounds very abrasive. But it's the complete opposite because the people that she has had in her corner or in her circle in everything, like, she goes 1,000% for everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody.
You're down for your people.
100%. But
I like that.
it's
Everyone
also...
else is extra.
Mhm.
but I've never said everyone else is extra. Like, this is something new that's coming out of the language of like, guess what? My time, my energy, my
Yeah.
space is valuable. And I didn't realize that.
Right. She was giving it away. But at the same time, in giving it away and helping other people, I don't think you were necessarily... I think you were also holding yourself hostage.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure it's a defense mechanism,
Yeah.
a like way to process trauma or to like hide from it or whatever. For sure.
I do the same thing.
So have you let a lot of relationships go during this pandemic?
I have let a lot of relationships move in the way that they should.
Stand by. It's like that Jorge Drexler song. Nothing is ever lost. It just transforms. That's what you just said reminded me of. I'm sorry.
And the people that I have felt the need to speak to about whatever, the ones who are going to stay in my corner and who have chosen to, like, we've been good. And when I say stay in my corner, I'm in their corner too. Like she said, 100%, like 1,000%. I mean,
Ride or die.
yeah, absolutely. That's how I roll with anybody. And it sometimes people don't get that either. Like certain someone who, you know, I might be overwhelming or like care a lot, but that's just who I am. Like I'm not going to apologize for that.
Right.
And the pandemic and this period of emotion and going through everything, I'm like, yo, I want to give it to I can't not give it. So I want to give it to the people who deserve it the most in my life.
Yeah. And there's a capacity for all of that, you know. I think that it's fair that you're going to give 1,000% to those that give 1,000% to you. But I can't imagine that you're giving 1,000% to 1,000 people either. You know, I
was, though.
She was.
And I imagine that would be exhausting.
Hell yeah.
That's why I don't sleep.
Girl.
I mean, that's the truth.
Because then if you, when you stop giving 1,000% to 1,000 people, and then
And you could
it's
just give a
that
quality
lonely. I got
person.
that video of you. It's that lonely feeling where all of a sudden you're like by yourself and you're like,
you got to deal with yourself then.
yeah. It's a lot easier to be giving yourself to other people instead of having to like go, okay, let me.
Forgot about that video.
Oh yeah, there's like 3 of them, by the way. It's not just one. Sitting in that chair.
In this room.
The
Yeah.
therapy chair.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what the language has taught me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's been miserable and hard and challenging, but also like, you know, without it, I mean, all of us wouldn't be together, you know?
100%.
Like, and I've learned how to reach out to people. How many times did I like message you and be like, "You're our wellness coach.
Yeah. I need your help, please.
I just wanted to check in with you.
Yeah.
yes.
Can I do this?"
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
For sure. We all need somebody. And I think this pandemic has made it okay for us to identify and, hey, you know what? I have some shit going on. I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Let's talk. I need you. And before it was like we're all on our bullshit.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, you need me? Okay.
But
And-
how much though? Because I gotta go in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
The-
I got time.
Authenticity has arrived.
Ooh.
Good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it in politics.
Yeah.
We've seen it in all sorts of avenues
yeah.
through this.
Absolutely.
Authenticity has arrived.
Damn, that was a good one.
Authenticity has
Relationships,
arrived.
Yeah, for sure. I think the future is bright. What do you guys think? I don't know about this fucking pandemic, but
I do. I mean, I think it's bright because anybody who's willing to go through it right now is like, I haven't seen one person not grow who's willing to go through it. If you're not willing, like, goodbye.
yeah,
Jump
for
off the
sure.
boat.
For sure.
But if you are, I mean, look at like Rickie has changed stuff. You have changed stuff. Michael has. Bartley has. The children
You,
have.
All of us.
Mm-hmm.
We're all. Hosea just got back.
Jesus, yes.
Mhm.
You know, Lanier's stuff is blowing up. And
Ray's DJing now.
like, I mean, we're all growing because
Yeah.
we're like, okay, let's
I laugh
take a
too
minute.
much.
Let's
Yeah.
sit. Let's process. And then
Right.
let's move. And when you have a community around you, we're raising each other.
Right. Right. And it
Yeah.
becomes easier to do those things. You have somebody supporting you. I love it. I love that.
I'm just relieved that I know what to call it now, because I used to felt very strange when people were like, "Oh, how are you?" and I would say like, you know,
I'm good.
the fake "I'm good,"
Mhm.
and then they're like, "Oh my god, you do so much," and I'm like, "I'm exhausted," but it always felt
You're complaining
Mhm.
and whiny.
Yeah, and I always felt like that was
Weak.
disregarding the
Mhm.
fact that I was loving what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because how could you be exhausted
Mhm,
and
that.
feel all kinds of ways if you love what you're doing?
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to call what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that article, I was like, "Fuck, it's languished." That's what I'm feeling languished.
And isn't it crazy how it's so easy for us to identify all of our rage moments
Yeah.
and we hang on to that more than we hang on to our happiness?
Well, I will
and
say no,
joy.
we have progressed because our
Mhm.
moments of rage in the beginning of this podcast were always on point and were always heavy, and we were always prepared because we had more moments of rage. As we started talking more about moments of rage, I think they died out a little bit more because we
Mhm.
started practicing gratitude even more, because with the moments of rage, we found healing moments
Yeah.
in just talking about them.
Yeah.
And then we would do the moments of love where
Mhm.
you take those you take those little things
And everything's okay.
and everything is okay.
that rage wasn't as bad as it should have been.
Which-
or we thought it was going
Oh
to
my
be.
god. And that everything is okay. Everything's
Yeah.
fine. Natalie, I used to hate when she would tell me that. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And I'm like, no.
That's the meme with the dog and the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Everything's
it is.
okay.
Everything's okay.
So Natalie got me watching the series Explained on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized today that, well, two things. I'm having a moment of enlightenment right now that I'm excited to share with the both of you. Last night, I was talking with a friend of mine, and she said, you know what? She was talking about, someone she's involved with. She was like, even though his shit stank, he's still loved. She wasn't saying like his shit stinks, but like, meaning like he's not a perfect person,
Right.
but he's still loved. Like, I still love this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, and I posted on my Instagram, is love unconditional? I got a lot of great answers from a lot of different people, right?
Yeah.
But it was this morning when I got annoyed with myself, and I'm like, what is my obsession with love? Like, who gives a shit? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, stop, Rickie.
That's
Like,
such a Rickie question, by the
yeah,
way.
it is, right? But I'm like, Jesus, it's
Right.
not like you don't have an abundance of it all around you, right?
Right.
So I watch Explained, and they do a series on dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the female, which was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But they actually studied dogs, put them through an MRI
Mm-hmm.
to find out how they felt about things, right?
Yeah.
Can dogs feel love?
Yeah.
And their explanation of it, they talk about, their loyalty,
Yeah.
how they communicate. But the very last thing and the most important thing is that when you feel love, you forget about everything. Like you're in that
Mm.
moment.
That's so true.
You're in that
Nothing else
moment, and it
matters.
makes everything okay. And it makes all the crap that you went through or whatever,
Mm.
in that moment you're with a person.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter who the person is.
Right.
But if you love that person, you regard them and you have some kind of relationship with them
Mm.
and they make you feel like everything really is okay, that's love.
I wanna
That's
go
it
hug
in a
my dog
nutshell.
now.
Thank you for studying
Indeed.
dogs.
And this is why we have pets.
And this
No.
is why we have pets. But with that analogy, it's what made me think about the way I do love and
Yeah.
experience love. And again, with multiple people and multiple friends and family, and love is timeless, you know?
So was that your explanation for your obsession with the topic of love?
I realized that my goal in life was to not. We got Indy in the house,
Hi,
Jess's little
baby.
pup.
Hi,
so
baby.
cute. She's a little patootie.
You want to say hello? Hi. This is my little love right here.
So cute.
She is cute. Her and I share a window at Jess's house. A beautiful little breeze. But I wanted to, and I always go back to the unconditional part because my cousin Ariana actually had a wonderful statement about it. She said, if we could undo what we know about romantic love, if we could undo the ideas of romantic love, we would understand what unconditional love is.
Right.
Because loving someone unconditionally is loving them, not forcing them to be the person that we need them to be, but letting them actually be. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I don't ever, I want to be able to be with a person and love them unconditionally as they are, how they are, whether it hurts me or not.
Yeah.
Be yourself so I could be myself.
Mm-hmm.
If in the future
Mm-hmm.
you're not with me anymore,
Mm-hmm.
I got to be okay with that. I want to be in a place that says, cool, I love you so much that I understand that you don't want to be with me no more and you want to be with somebody else or you want to be on your own. You want to do it. I want to be in a place that will accept that
Yeah.
and will be at peace with whatever happens in my life.
Yeah.
And that's possibly also a defense mechanism to not get hurt.
Did you see my face? Which is exactly what it is. Here, hold the dog. Which is exactly what it is and how you work. But I also appreciate that because there's a lot of truth to that. And one thing that we've talked about recently is like through all this Bette Midler stuff for me.
Yeah.
Love her so much. But that and like the love from Rickie and this really cool relationship that we have developed,
Mm-hmm.
I have been able, like I discovered through my languish that I'm really hiding a lot of myself.
Yes.
And I thought I was like the most open person in the world. I really did. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll talk about anything and like come at me. I'm an open book. It is not true, but I didn't know that. And through this, I learned that, right? And I'm like, oh, there's a lot of me that I don't share.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really scared to get hurt. And I'm really scared
That
to
Band-Aid.
yeah, like, and I'm like, damn, it's like really clear too.
But clarity is so good because then you can exercise compassion with people in this sense, right? You thought you were sharing with everybody who you are. Here I am, everybody. And people, your relationships with people were a certain way based on that perception.
Right.
Well, now that perception's out the window.
So far.
So now these people are like, what the fuck? What's going on here? So now with your awareness, you're able to exercise compassion with them when they're like, hey, what? Did I miss something? Or how did this? And you have to because you are shedding new skin, you know? And the people that will rock with you are the people that love you unconditionally and that are going to be there no matter who, what, when, where, why happens. As you are with your own discovery, like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right. And what we talked about was just because our doors are opening doesn't mean that people want to walk through them. That's that unconditional love, right? Like you can love someone and that's like friend, partner, whoever, parent. Like, but just because I've opened the door for you to walk through doesn't mean that you are going to walk through. And like that expectation,
Right.
like me putting expectations on that love,
Yeah.
that's always going to hurt you.
Yeah. I totally
right.
feel
How do
the
we get to a
same.
place where it doesn't hurt us?
I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So that'll be part 2 of this app. Like, when I get there, I'll let you know. But that's the hardest thing. Like, how do you freely open up and love without expectation?
That's it. That's
Well, you
that's
don't
the
have
goal.
any. You just lower your expectations. You just don't have any.
That's it. And Natalie's always told me that too. Just expect nothing.
Yeah, don't have any expectations, and you won't get hurt.
Yeah, but I
Because
don't want to
now-
live. I don't want to live my life that way though.
Yeah, no, and it's.
And I would say I don't want to live alone. Or
You can live
get,
with me.
We already
You
talked
have a
about
window.
getting married, so Jess could have my name and I could have health insurance. Okay.
I like these arrangements.
I
It
know.
works.
Anything is possible.
I love Rickie. That's the
Jesus.
truth.
Just get married. It's legal here.
It is. Indy's looking at me like, bitch, you ain't gonna get that window.
She did look at you like that's my window. I mean, but that is the lesson I'm learning now. And
Yeah.
it's a good lesson. It's healthy. It is hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It is painful because I'm like, I went through all this like struggle and strife and emotional shit. Go through my door, damn it.
Yeah,
And that
Where's
person's
the
like,
welcome mat?
that person's like,
I'm good.
I see the door.
Yeah,
Like I'm there. I see it.
it's pretty.
That's how
There. It looks
that's,
nice. It looks nice.
that's how
It's a
far
nice
I
door.
am.
It's a nice
And I'm
door.
like,
But why aren't you walking in then?
and you know, the tendency for us is to be like, well, I'm gonna shut it on you.
Before I get hurt.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
And
dang.
the exercise is don't shut the door. Just
Right.
let it fucking breathe. But
Yeah.
that is hard for people who like are used to being able to control a situation.
We are very controlling people.
Mm-hmm.
Very controlling people.
Well, yeah, we don't want to get hurt. I think it's natural to want to control, but I think that goes back to just lower your expectations.
So, Natalie, I have a question for you. So, you being married, like, does any of I feel like you hear this all the time from us, and you're like, do you ever in your mind think like, what did I do, or what's gonna happen to me? Because I feel like again, the majority of Rose City Sound is like all over the place.
Oh my God,
Well, I'm all over the place with you guys. I don't feel like I have my shit together half the time, and I have
you
the
present
tendency
yourself that way.
to control.
She does.
Well, yeah, I think that
You have a better ability out of all of us to be like, bye, girl. I'm
Yes.
good.
yeah,
Yes.
Which is really cool. Like, I wish I could invoke a little bit more of that.
Facts.
I just think, and you know what I've been told, like, you'd be an excellent poker player. Like, you have no emotion in your face. You just show nothing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna chill here. I'm cool as a cucumber. But I'm sorry. What was your question?
You're married,
I'm married.
and you hear all of the horror stories that we have.
Yeah.
Like, do you worry about that kind of stuff? Like, fuck, is this in my future?
No, I don't think I'm worried because I don't know tomorrow. And yeah, and sure, I think that in different scenarios and situations and shit that Mike and I might be going through, I am thinking like, oh my God, what the fuck? But then I realize I have to sit my ass back down, and tomorrow isn't promised. And again, another
Yeah.
Jorge Drexler saying is, nothing's going to be okay.
He has a wonderful song that says, I don't worry about a thing
Yeah,
because nothing's gonna be all
okay.
right.
there you go.
That's what he says.
And so I
That's a
kind of live
great
by
song.
that these days. It's just like, I don't know what's going to happen in 5 minutes.
Shit could get worse. So
Yeah.
why worry?
Yeah.
Just do it.
And I already feel like just in my life experiences, I've already been through so much that I'm exhausted and I'm done with all of it. I just want to be at peace, and I just want to be cool, and nothing's bothering me. I don't want to be worried about anything. The fucking sky could come falling down. Well, I had a good run.
Just basically, you and I are psychopaths.
Yeah.
We worry
Because I'm
about-
like, well, if I stand over here, if
Yeah.
the sky falls,
Yeah.
am I strategically okay? Or maybe I need to build a hut. Maybe not a hut.
What about that
maybe,
health insurance?
Yeah. Maybe
Should I have
need-
gotten married?
for real.
It doesn't stop. And I have been told many times as of recent that I overthink things.
Mhm.
But I think it's a defense mechanism, right? Like I overthink because,
Have you always overthought?
oh God, yeah. I don't think it's overthinking either. I don't think it's overthinking.
Overanalyzing maybe then?
Oh shit.
Or what about just no, it's something.
I try and find out the worst outcome so that I know what the worst is coming for me.
So you're prepared.
Mm-hmm. That's my defense mechanism.
But that's not like. But then you're living in a chronic state of fear and stress.
That is why.
PTSD.
That is
You're
why I
not-
have my Vanna White.
and you're not living your life authentically. You know
Oh no,
what I'm
it's authentic. It's just authentically miserable.
saying? It's authentically controlled by whatever you're allowing.
By her fears.
Yeah, I have a lot of fears because I've had a lot of bad experiences, and I'm not where you are, where I'm like, meh. I'm still at this place of like, or I want to say I'm at this place of like, let me just know the worst that's gonna come, so that I can like store up that energy to deal with that. But then I use that energy to store in that space. This is the languish, and then I don't use it to elevate myself or better myself or do the things that I want because I'm reserving it over here
Damn.
to like make sure that, you know, because like, you know, my dog didn't just die. My dog like had a mental like brain damage and then died in Vegas and like the top of a suite. So it's never like simple.
right.
You know, my trauma is never simple. It's always
Always
like
this graphic experience.
it's like 8 layers of trauma like put together in one. So I'm like ready for it. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
Bring
bring
it.
it on.
I'm ready.
She's
But
like a
that's-
warrior.
But
Yeah,
that's
girl.
hard.
It's a lot of work.
And I don't mind the work. I don't. It's that like, but when do I let myself bloom, blossom,
Okay, so
grow?
that's what you would want. You would want to be in a state of growth.
I want to bet myself.
And there's this thing, there's this belief that if you're in this constant state of preparing for some shit to happen, the shit's gonna happen because you're calling it into your life.
Oh hell!
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is the part about like where
Don't
I've
get hurt.
realized that on my end, and I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm not gonna just be all in my head because then it is gonna happen. I don't want that shit for myself. I'm done with these traumas. I don't want the dog to fall off and have brain damage or
She
or,
fell
you
like
know-
a foot off the ground too. It was terrible. But that's one thing that like Rickie and I have been working on. So when we're feeling a certain way, we call each other. We have so if you text support animal, that means please call right away, no matter what's going on.
That's code for
yeah.
Now,
stop what you're doing
Yeah.
and
I
call
need
me right
something.
now.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
we have another one. What's the other one?
What is the other one? It's mine.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How are you gonna call me if you don't have your word?
I don't know because I usually just call her. But
But she lies about it, or she's not honest. And she told me, she goes, sometimes when I feel really terrible, I call you and I bullshit,
Yeah.
and I like pretend that I'm on a walk or something or whatever, and then you just talk me through shit and I'm fine. But she doesn't tell me that she's going through some sort of.
because then it would be admitting it that there's
Yeah.
that my
But
shit's
there's
not
some
together.
shit
Also,
know.
I always know when something's going on.
Yeah, even
But I
when
mean,
I don't call.
But realistically, whose shit is together? I don't think anyone has their shit together.
Bartley, how's your shit going?
is he here? Bart?
See, he doesn't even have his shit together.
No,
Can't even get the mic.
I'm here. I'm here. Sorry. I just had myself muted. I didn't want to disturb you guys. My shit is all over the place. So
You see?
How do you cope with it?
internally, which is probably not the best
yeah.
way to cope with it.
Do you know anyone that has their shit together, Bartley?
Or looks like it, right? Because we're basically
Natalie looks like it.
she does.
Oh God, no.
I feel like my parents have their shit together.
Really? Okay. What makes you say that?
Just they're set up really well for retirement here soon.
Nice.
They have multiple income properties, and they're about to call it quits on the working end. So I feel like that's having your shit together.
Are they looking to adopt anyone? Because I'm available.
Bartley's like, I'm trying to get on that path.
I'm part of the family, and I'm trying to get adopted. Okay, so
nice. But you see, like there isn't really many people that have their shit together.
No, but that's why it's helpful, right? Because I know now when I'm spiraling,
Mhm.
and I know now when I'm like, and I'll reach out,
Mhm.
and she'll talk me through it. We'll talk this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Same with her. I told her when you feel a certain way, call me.
Yeah.
Well, and we have a really good probably the reason why I'm such good friends with Rickie, besides the fact that we're twins in other fonts, is that Rickie's initial reaction isn't to make you feel better.
Right.
Like you could be like, oh, this happened, I'm feeling this pain, I don't like it. And she goes, so why do you think you're feeling like it's not like let me hug you? We talked about the awkward hug.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has an awkward hug, which did work one time.
Yes.
But she's like, well, why? And like, let's get to the core of that. When
Right.
like initially, like you just want a hug, and she's like, not gonna give that to you. We're gonna like get there.
Get to the root
Yeah.
cause.
And one time I had to be like, you know what? I can't do this right now. But
Yeah.
that was a good.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
You know what? You just made me realize how much I've learned from my Uncle Oscar. I learned that from my Uncle Oscar. Like he's one of those people that's like, tell me about it. Let me understand. Like genuine desire to understand what it is that you're feeling and what you're going through. And I didn't realize how much I do that until I heard you say it right now. I gotta text my Uncle Oscar and tell him thank you. Because he's
It's
like
really
that.
helpful because
Now
The
we're able
Band-Aid.
to process our feelings.
yeah, because we as a society don't know how to help each other process
Mm-mm.
or like process ourselves or whatever. Our reaction is like, let's just make it stop.
Yeah.
How do I get you to shut up
Stop
so
the
I
bleeding.
can continue on my day?
Yes.
Honestly, that's the truth.
That's the truth.
I'm busy.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Like, okay, so what do I need to do to fix it? What do I have to say? What do I have to do?
Right.
What can I
Tell
buy
me
you?
what you need from me.
Yeah. As opposed to like giving the time and the energy to get to a place that you can breathe.
Which is another conversation that we had, like how difficult it is to really have like honest relationships with people, like friendships. The movie Beaches. It's about a friendship. And like these two friends, they have some real honest, like,
Yeah.
very difficult conversations with one another. But they never abandoned each other. They'll give each other space.
Right.
Cool, I piss you off, you piss me off. Give each other some space.
Mhm.
And it goes back to unconditional love. Like when you know that person is in your life and you can be who, how, whatever you are,
Right.
you know that, all right, I hurt your feelings, you hurt mine. Let's step away from it for a little bit,
But we're
Come
gonna
back.
be good.
and I'm still gonna have your back.
Yeah.
I feel like everything is so disposable now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just like you said.
And selfish.
Stop the bleeding. Get out the way.
And I would bring this full circle and say those are the kinds of movies that I make. And that's why I make those movies, because we don't see them. We see things, I mean, not as much now, but like we see things that are, well, this is what we think would happen.
Right.
This is what we're told would happen. But I make the ones that this is what actually happens.
Right.
Mm.
It's not a
And
Disney movie.
no, I don't make Disney movies, which is why Disney, if you want to pick up my stuff, though, feel free. No problems here. But I make the stuff that makes people uncomfortable because they're going, oh, man, I do that. Or like, oh, I've been through that.
Mhm.
Or,
Right. It's relatable. It's realistic.
yeah. Yeah. And I think that's so important because we just don't see that. And we need representation like that.
Mhm.
All of us. Like,
Mhm.
it's not just about Black, white, Latino, women, men, whatever. Like, it's about like seeing our
Human.
authentic selves
Mm-hmm.
on screen dealing with stuff
Mm-hmm.
so that we can go, oh, because so many people like don't talk. This is what like really inspired me as a kid. I did this show Buried Child by Sam Shepard in high school, which no one should ever be allowed to do in high school because it's like about some like totally fucked up family and there's like a dead fetus buried in the backyard.
Oh my
and-
God. You did that in high school?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So good.
Jess.
I know.
Wise beyond your years.
I
ago.
remember my teacher came up to me and he shook my hand afterwards and he goes, I was going to leave, but I didn't out of respect for you guys. And he said, that's the best thing that I've ever seen
Oh, wow.
Wow.
in 20 years. And there won't be another thing in 20 years, but I definitely wanted to leave. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
and that's when I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I got it. This is what I was meant to do, is like make people uncomfortable.
It's just like we're making you uncomfortable with how hot it is in here.
But it's-
I touched the fan and I made it.
Wait, so you had so many indicators in your life along
Yeah.
the way that were
That was-
identifying for you. This is what you got to do.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, 100%.
You're on the right track.
Because I was writing a play about a messed up family, which was mine. And I was like, oh, I can't do this to my family. Like, my mom's going to have a heart attack. Like, everyone, like, I was really worried, you know?
Mhm.
But I read this play. We were doing an exercise, and I was like, oh, can I do this? And they were like, sure, why not? They didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
You were
That
going
it was personal to
do
you?
it.
well, that all this was going to happen. Like, I mean, I really clearly remember a scene where the, like, nephew puts his fingers in the girl's mouth. Like, it's, like, shouldn't, but it was, we all, like, bonded together and, like, really put our hearts and souls into it. We had real grass. We had, like, rain running from the ceiling in this little black box theater. We had the
Damn.
whole school stink because the grass was, like, getting moldy. But we were like, but, like, that's the conversations that happened after that were people and
Oh, yeah, I imagine.
and with the crew being like, I get this and I get that, and I want to do this because of like, this is how I feel with whoever in my family. Or,
Right.
that's what inspired me so much to want to create art. And I know you do that through music, like that same thing.
You're
With that
telling
same
your story.
emotion.
Yeah. But I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is such an incredible opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this. So that's
It was
why
like your drug.
Absolutely. It was my drug. It was my medicine. It still is. I'll watch a bus blow up any day. Just like, this is so cool.
So, I usually, like lately, I've been asking for book recommendations, but because you're a filmmaker, do you have any of your favorite films that you would like to
Please
share?
watch Pan's Labyrinth if you haven't seen it.
Wait, Pan's Labyrinth
Yeah.
I have no-
is with.
It's a Guillermo del Toro movie before.
Can we just talk about him really quick? Because
I've been to his house
I was in his presence. Bartley,
at the party.
the Perlman party.
Yeah, I saw him in the picture and I was like, why didn't anybody invite me?
I didn't even know it was him.
Well, that's a shame. You missed out.
I know.
Wait, he was there?
Yes,
Done with both of you.
yes.
He's
Bartley.
a pretty like iconic
You can't
person.
and you
I
can't
don't
miss
even know
him.
who he is.
So when I was in the fellowship with Bad Robot and J.J. Abrams, he would set up, or the program set up for us to be able to meet with various people who work in the industry. Now, Guillermo, his work house is like a block away from his regular house. So we got
His
to go to,
work house.
yeah, so he has a house that he works out of. And it is the coolest fucking shit. I still want a rain room in my house. Let me try and explain to you. I'm closing my eyes so I can tell you what his house looked like. But you walk in. This is the workhouse.
I'm closing
Every
my eyes.
room is themed, right? With like horror, romance, like, and there's every book ever written. There are movie props dating back from like the early 1900s art to present day. Like everything in the room embodies whatever that theme is. And his friends come all the time to get inspiration and to like,
That's
they
dope.
just, oh my God, it's
Do you
so
have his number,
cool.
Jess?
No, I don't have his
Dang
number.
it.
So I didn't know what he looked like, so I looked him up, and I remember seeing him at the party.
He
Ricky.
is,
We fucked up,
Like,
Bartley.
we
Man,
definitely fucked
We
up.
fucked up big time.
I love him so much as a filmmaker. He is my total inspiration. Like in that movie. Okay, so I'm sorry, I digress, and I will get off
No,
this
please.
No
podcast.
spoilers.
No,
No spoilers. No
It's not
spoilers.
a spoiler, but like, I was there with one other fellow, right? We were the first two fellows ever of Bad Robot, and it was like a really big deal. Hanjin and I, and we're sitting there, and he thought it was going to be like a pretty quick thing.
Yeah.
And we sat there for 4 hours talking to him about life, about like questioning our existence
That's
and
awesome.
our goals. Should we be doing this? And he goes, man, you guys, I thought you were just going to ask me about film. He goes, this is really, really interesting and really awesome. I did not think you'd be asking me these questions. But it was so cool to have him talk to us about, so like the Neverending Story, right? We talked about that. He goes, what's your favorite movie? And I was like, Neverending Story as a kid, because I was so
I love that movie.
fascinated
I love that movie.
how you could be in the story.
Yes.
Amazing.
That movie scared me, made me
Wolf?
cry, made me what? Yeah. That movie
Everything.
was a roller coaster of emotion.
Everything. That movie is
Never-ending
everything.
story.
I don't think I ever watched it because it looked
Oh.
scary.
It was.
It was scary.
It had its moments of
but it's
scariness.
basically it's an outcast kid
Yeah.
who doesn't fit in. His mother
Betrayal.
passed away. That you know that right away. Like, and he's trying to navigate through life. He like is nerdy, likes books. There's bullies. He hides in the bookstore. He steals this book that has this like weird emblem on it, and the guy is like, "That's not for you," and he steals it anyways. And he's reading it, and there's like this big like rainstorm. And as he's reading it, it's this like really scary story, and all of a sudden he's in the book, but he's in
He's
the
a part
attic.
of the story.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I
shit.
was like,
So this is gonna be really weird, but that's one of those movies that I can only watch in the wintertime. I would never watch that movie in the summertime.
"Can we watch it at my house?"
I'm down.
Okay.
Only in the wintertime. It has to be cold outside.
Fine.
So
The window. You can sit by the window.
Guillermo, he does The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite films. The color in that movie, everything, the sets, I immediately fell in love with.
He's fucking amazing.
He's a genius,
He's an absolute genius.
and I didn't say hi.
You're done.
I was in his presence.
So
Fuck.
at the end of the movie,
Pan's Labyrinth. Okay.
he had this ability to do something that was the most inspiring to me that I've ever seen in any movie ever in my life. To feel complete, utter despair and sadness and complete pure love and happiness at the exact same time with the exact same emotion, like, or situation. Like, I was just like, how did he do that? Black and white was on the same page, blending in every color. And I was like, this, like, mind blown. Favorite movie, everybody.
I'm gonna have to
now
watch
I'm gonna
this
watch
as
it
soon as
because
possible.
I don't
This
think I've
week.
watched. Well, Pan's Labyrinth won
A lot of
several
awards. It was because it's in Spanish, obviously. So like, not everybody saw it because people are dumb. But it's just, man, it's the same level as Neverending Story, where you're like in reality and in fantasy, but you're in the same world. Anyone who has the capability of doing that, like, hands down, like, I bow to you if you can do that.
Remember that day I told you I wanted to throw up and cry at the same time?
That's exactly what it is.
I'm pulling it now. Okay.
Dang, Jess, that was pretty powerful because I want to watch that. I don't know. Well, okay.
Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I mean, everything has, you could pick apart any movie, but like the ability to evoke those emotions is
Right.
just,
At the same time.
and you can see the characters really try, all of them, even the bad guys, all of them trying to do the right thing, all of them, like, it's
For the greater good.
for the greater good. There's politics involved. There's a lot of things that happened, and your hero chooses badly at one point, and you're like, oh man,
The
you know?
deception.
Yeah, well, because you want your hero to always, move forward, and I just
Oh, it's on Netflix.
look
Oh,
at that.
great.
Is it really?
Yeah. Okay.
gonna watch
I'm
it
watching
tonight.
this tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would recommend Pan's Labyrinth.
okay.
I would also recommend A League of Their Own because
Yeah, that's a classic.
it is a classic and
That's a
it's
classic.
fun. It's women oriented. It's good
I was
writing.
very inspired by that movie when it came
Directed
out.
by a woman. Go Penny Marshall.
Penny.
There's so much good about that movie too. True story. I think
You should have been in that movie. That's
There's
something
no
you could've-
crying in baseball.
Yes.
there's no crying.
There's no crying.
No crying in baseball.
No crying in baseball.
I know that whole movie by heart. Sometimes on the headset at the Dodgers, we'll start reciting it, and I just don't stop.
You have a favorite Disney movie?
Ooh, favorite Disney movie, Hocus Pocus.
Oh no.
Hey, did you know that, Ricky? Did you know that part of A League of Their Own was filmed here in Ontario?
Yeah, on
Yeah, at J. Littleton Ballpark.
J. Littleton Ballpark on Grove, 4th and Grove.
Mhm.
I do remember that. See, we're famous.
That's awesome. The
Oh,
IE.
Ontario.
I was never a kid that grew up on, like, I was not a movie buff. I was like the push my brothers and sisters in a stroller and get the 2 for 99 cent movies on Tuesdays.
Mm.
I was a theater kid, so I had to like learn later on, and I always felt behind in film school because everyone was like, "Oh, I've watched this movie and that movie," and I'm like, "I watch Ghostbusters and I love it."
I like that.
But I'm cool with who I am. It's just like my clothes, Like, yes, I love Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2 specifically.
Mm.
Ghostbusters 1 a little scary, but
Wait, is that the one with the guy with the
Ghostbusters
big
1 is
forehead?
no, that's 2.
That one is the scariest one.
Yeah.
Scares the crap on the painting?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh.
Why do you think I don't like hallways? Why do you think I don't live in an apartment building with hallways? It's because of the eyes when he's like,
That's a scary. I 100%
"Oh."
agree with that. That shit's scary. Ghostbusters 2.
yeah, that's the shit right there. But Back to the Future, first movie I saw with my mom, loved Back to the Future. How cool was it for us to like step into a world of possibility? Because it was all like,
Technology and innovation.
it was a step away from us.
Yeah.
Some crazy dude made a time machine and it got stuck because he was a crazy dude and it didn't like totally work out exactly the way he wanted. And being able to like explore the past and the future at the same time.
Right.
I mean, that's a metaphor of exploring our own past and our future at the same time and like figuring out where we're going. And do we have control of our future? And do we have control of our
Toggling
past?
back and forth between
Yeah.
the two.
Can you change it? What does it mean when you change it? Like that had so many messages and meanings in it beyond just like a funny movie. Like that shit was deep if you really dig into it.
Yeah. Well, if you dig into most movies, I feel like there's more in the film and the message that it wants to say besides and they lived happily ever after. What the fuck? What you
If
mean?
you watch Netflix, it's like there's a new series called like How They Made the Movies. I forget what it's called, but it's on right now, so it's kind of fun.
It's not the movies that made us.
The movies that made us, and there's a Christmas version.
there
Yeah,
is.
I have to look into that.
Yeah, it's just fun if you guys want to watch that type of stuff. I find it really cool. But I definitely recommend Pan's Labyrinth. Everyone who managed to get through this whole podcast, please watch Pan's Labyrinth. It'll change you.
I love it.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that tonight. Yeah,
All right. Well,
you were great, Jess.
thank you so much,
Okay,
Jess, for
okay.
this conversation. This was fun. Thank you for your story and your recommendations.
I'm
And
like nervous now. Everybody knows about my love for Bette. The whole world knows.
where
Hey,
can
no,
we?
we need that because we're gonna meet Bette.
Yeah, we are.
Oh
where
boy.
where can we find your work? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Jessica with a Y _Rae. Also, Raise Your Hand Film on Instagram. And you can also check out our film on American Black Film Festival, ABFF. If you search that, it's coming up in November. It's free online for about 10 days. I don't know the exact dates, but it's free for everyone. So check it out. And there's a ton of other really great films that are going to be shown. And then Seattle, we don't know the release dates yet, but we'll find out.
I want to go to Seattle. I'll be your date.
I would love for you to
I'll
be my
tag
date.
along.
Yes, please come. Please come. We can do a podcast from Seattle.
I love it.
And it would be great to hear from our lead actress, Jernest, and
Yes.
Hanani, who is an amazing singer who sang 2 of our songs on the soundtrack.
Damn.
Wrote them for us.
This girl just doing a
Jesus.
lot. I love her.
We got so many great people. And Jernest just finished up a Christmas movie, and she was on Sneakerheads, if you guys saw that.
Yes.
Yep. So that
Sneakerheads
was
was
her
big.
Netflix show that she just did.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
many
Jess, man.
amazing things coming your way, girl.
I hope
see?
so.
No,
talk about all-
no, so.
Yeah.
All right.
We talk about all this languish.
I know. The languish is still there. It's like a languishing, but we're working through it.
Hashtag Team Languish the Languish.
Languish the languish.
We're gonna languish the languish.
All right.
Get that shit out
Let's
the way.
languish it. All right. Well, with that, that's our show. Thank you again for hanging out with us, having this
Thanks, guys.
conversation. And we'll see everyone real soon. Increase the peace.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to everyone who joined us this week. I am Rickie Limota, and I'm joined by the beautiful Natalie Mota. And we're live from Rose City Sound Studio in the beautiful Inland Empire. Shouts out to Big Brother Jake for all of the love and support. Today's episode was produced by the infamous Juice Box Bartley. We are on this frequency. Make sure to share us, like us. We drop a new episode every Wednesday. Wherever you listen to podcasts, that's where you'll find us. Make sure if you have any questions, you got topics you want to talk about, hit us up, email us on this frequency at gmail.com. Support the movement, drop it like it's hot. See you later, y'all. Meow, 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 meow. Fucking shitball.